Non-genetical reasons why you will end up with small penis size even after inheriting a 10 inches penis size from your father, which is very impressive. Come with me. I'm not Scamsi Ndama, and this is Sexuality and Health Wellness. We talk about it and we leave no crumbs behind. When I say non genetical, it simply means you can be given birth to and grow up, and your penis size is quite impressive. Like everybody, even your fellow male, I don't mean gay, I mean your fellow male, your fellow man, compliment you and tell you that you really have a nice penis size there. If you start carrying out these activities, you're likely to have a very bad news before you turn 30 or in your late 20s, depending on when you start, actually. Number one is intake of alcohol. And you'll be like, what do you mean by intake of alcohol? I mean, what does alcohol have to do with this? I'll tell you what it has to do with this. And when you take alcohol, what happens is your estrogen levels is on the peak, at the peak, actually. Now, even if you're a woman or a man, so don't you dare say, oh, that's for women. No, as a man, you actually have some level of estrogen in your body, and as a woman that I am, I have some level of androgen in my body, or you call it testosterone in my body, but it is not so much, right? That is the reason why my voice is not bass. That is the reason why I don't have hair all over my body. Like all over my body, on my chest and everywhere, not and yeah, here too. I don't have that. So now that's number one discovery. If you don't know that, that's number one discovery for you. And number two, how this does not help your penis size, or is not gonna help your penis size. Number two is when you continue taking alcohol, estrogen buildup. And when there is estrogen buildup, do you know what happens? As a man, your breast gets tender. Okay, you've got breast as a man. You've got breast. Your breast gets tender, and when your breast gets tender, the next thing you see is you start having some belly fat. So it's called gynecomastia. The breast getting tender and showing up as though you actually got boobs. And I saw this video where a man was asked, if you really want to have something out of the ordinary, like out of the ordinary, with known by men, what would you love to have? The man said, I'd love to have boobs so that I can play around with my boobs. If that's what your dream is, then go ahead, drink as much alcohol as you want to drink, and trust you me, you're gonna have your boobs and you're gonna play around with your boobs as long and as much as you want. But it's not gonna help your penis size. All right, now when you have gynecomastia, that's one. Number two, you're gonna have belly fat build up, especially in the belly and in the upper pubic region that's above the penis. Exactly. So these 2 points, you're gonna have a very strange fat buildup. And this strange fat buildup is because of the excessive intake of alcohol. And at this point, fat buildup keeps increasing. And the next thing, you wake up one morning, or the next thing, you feel like engaging in sexual intercourse with your partner, and then you already all hard, and you try penetrating and you find out that the belly fat is in the way. The belly fat kind of covers almost all the length and it makes you look like you're too small. So how do you want to manage? You're gonna manage in your big belly and then managing the penetration as well. How are you gonna manage? Definitely you're not gonna gain the satisfaction that you wish or you want. Do you see that? And this also goes to people, men that are obese, men that don't control what they eat, men that don't control what enters in their mouth. These people are also at risk of this same thing. And this is still the same reason why they are at risk. The same thing I shared about belly fat buildup, and all that. So you really need to work on your weight. And that brings us to the third one, lack of exercise. Now there is this young man that contacted me the last time through a colleague. He said, I've been trying so hard to get it stand. I'm not getting that entry. I'm not taking the lead, when you're in control, you definitely know that you're in control. It's so obvious when you're in control. When you're in the room and you're in control, it's obvious you're in control. When you've lost control, it's also obvious you've lost control. So this guy was saying that he steps into the room and it's obvious he is not in control. No courage, no confidence, nothing. It's just weird, you know, down there and here and in the bed. So, what do you do? I asked him, he said, I asked him what he does for a living. He told me, and it's obvious that lack of exercise got him where he is. If you don't exercise well enough, if you don't exercise well enough, there is this thing about, there is this proverb, practice sets you for perfection. So when you practice, then you are stretching, you are making this part of your body used to the work. If you just wake up one morning and then you're like, oh my god, I'm up and about, and this time around, you know what, I'm gonna do marathon. And oh, you want to do marathon, and you have never in your day in your whole life, you have never in your whole life done 1,000 meter race. How are you gonna do marathon? You never let that down. How are you gonna do marathon? You're signing up for your dead words, and I'm gonna be there to pick you. At emergency. Yeah, I'll be there at the ER to resurrect you. Is it resuscitate? I think resuscitate is the word. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? There is no how you're gonna go for marathon if you have never been on the track doing 1,000 meter race, doing warm up, and all those little things that count. You don't do stretches, you don't do warm up, you don't do ordinary 1,000 meter race, and now you want to do marathon. Like, are you for real? So you really need to work up your pelvic muscles. You really need to work up your thighs. You really need to work up your arms here, right here. Yeah, you need to work them up. Now, another thing is when you exercise, the blood vessels, the blood vessels that supplies your penis, the muscles that supplies or that is found on the penis, tunica albuginea, which is much more responsible for erection and maintaining the erection rigidity, of course. That muscles will thank you forever for doing that stretches, for doing those exercises. Why? When you do those exercises, they get strengthened and they get ready for whatever is going down tonight. So next one is smoking tampers with the blood vessels lining not just the penis or the muscles of the penis, but also the muscles of other important organs like your heart. Exactly. But because we're concerned about the reproductive system, let's stick to that. Now, when you are a smoker and you became consistent, hmm, you became consistent, an ardent follower of cigarettes, smoke, shisha, what happens? The vessels supplying your 10 inches penis, it begins to shrink and cannot, at this time, cannot seamlessly be elastic as it used to be. In other words, if you want it to extend like it used to extend, it says, no, I can't do this. By implications, the amount of blood that usually or on a very good day would have gone to the muscles of the penis will be drastically reduced. And if it is reduced, it simply means that you're going to have your erection. True. Your erection, is it going to be rigid? No. Your erection, is it going to be as hard and as long as possible? Because when you say, oh, I'm 10 inches, oh, I am 100 inches, I'm as long as you can ever think of, it is because you are having a very healthy erection. Erection is everything to a man that is sexually active and not a monk. Yes. So if you don't have that erection, your actual length will not be on display. And if your actual length is not on display because you're not having the right or the healthy erection we are looking out for, it simply means you are going to live as a man that have been starved because he does not have the right arsenals to plunge into sexual satisfaction. Do you get that note? If you did not, wind back, listen to it, write it down, and do whatever you want to do with it. I am not Scamsy Nama. This is Sexuality and Health Wellness. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification, and of course, like. I'll see you all in my next video. I love you. Mwah.